What is up, beautiful people? Kirby Hasseman here, wanting to talk to you about the relentless pursuit of better and the relentless pursuit of better branded merch today. So today, I'm going to give you 5 things, 5 tips on making your branded merch better. You'll have more of an impact, they'll affect more behavior, you'll make more sales, all those sort of things if you do branded merch better. And today I want to give you 5 tips around how to do that. Now, if these videos are providing you value, please feel free to subscribe. And I want to throw out there, if you go to hitthetargetbook.com, you can check out my ebook, the audiobook, even a course around Hit the Target for free. It's my best-selling book and you can get it for free. So you can check that out. So today we want to talk about how to do branded merch better. And again, I'm going to give you 5 tips. So let's dive in. The first tip on doing branded merch better is who is it for? Understand who the end user of the branded merch is for. This is a mistake that I see so many organizations make. Now they get some of the other things right. Hey, we know what the quantity is, we know what the budget is, we know what the timeline is, and you need to know all those things, and those are really important. But the question I see people forget to ask is, who is this for? Because if you understand the exact target audience, you can see how they're going to use it, what would surprise and delight them, what would be functional, what would be cool, but you don't know that unless you know who you're giving it to. If you're giving a piece of branded merch to my daughter, who is 23 years old, lives in Colorado, or you're giving something to me, who is a 50-year-old in Ohio and a dude, we might want different things. We might be excited about different things. So understanding who it's for can really shape exactly what you're giving them. Now, the caveat to that is, who is it for and where are they going to be seeing it, right? So if you are giving it to me in my office, you're stopping in as an appreciation gift, that's one thing. Or if it's a trade show, and what kind of thing I would value in those places. But the reality of it is, you don't know how to do any of it right if you don't know who you're giving it to. So the number one thing you can do to get your branded merch better is to just know who it's for. Number 2, create a cool design. I think one of the things that I really love that I've seen is the evolution of this in our industry. I think for years we have done it where we're just like, look, we will slap a logo, whatever your logo is, we can put it on that piece of branded merch. And in many cases, that's fine. But one of the evolutions I've seen is great brands and great organizations creating a message, creating merch with a message that maybe it speaks to that target audience's passion or their purpose. And that's why it's really important to know who it's for, right? So create a theme, create artwork, something that's going to move people and get them excited. Now, if your logo is a part of that, great. We've done it that way. Maybe you put your logo on a sleeve or make it a little bit more subtle, but build a cool theme, some art, something that people really want to wear, and then it can really move your merch in a positive way. So number 1 is know who it's for, and number 2 is just create a really cool design, create a purpose. Merch with a message can really make a difference. Number 3, give yourself time. Again, this is one of those mistakes I see people making, but if you get on the other side of it, it can really open it up. The fact is, if you are trying to build a branded merch campaign on a really tight timeline, you can do it, but it takes away a ton of options. You can't do things overseas. You might not be able to do certain decoration techniques. Shipping becomes a challenge if you're going on other sides of the country. Give yourself time. One of my favorite things is it says that you can get it fast, you can get it right, or you can get it cheap. You get to pick 2 out of the 3. So by not giving yourself time, not only are you eliminating a bunch of really cool options that might really move that target audience to action, but it also increases the amount you might have to spend, whether it's for shipping purposes, all that sort of thing. So if you want to create merch that really matters, that moves people to action, give yourself more time. Next up, if you want to do merch better, is just pay attention to the detail. Now, part of that, one of the things I like is that we're building on this. So you want to give yourself time. And if you've given yourself time to really think these things out, you can get a sample. Because the reality of it is, online, in catalogs, in print, a lot, like 2 tumblers might look exactly the same in those pictures, but when you get them in your hands, it can really, you can see the difference in quality, right? Like it might have a different decoration techniques. One might be be plastic and one might be stainless steel. Like, the reality of it is, if you give yourself time to give yourself a sample, you know you're doing the quality that you actually want to do, and that has to do with attention to detail. Do the thing that you know you want to do. And then the second caveat to this, and this is one that I see people make this mistake all the time, is get a proof. And get a proof and actually look at the proof. Like, I am blown away by how many times people get a proof and they just kind of, either they don't look at it at all, or they're just like, oh, I didn't realize that was, I needed to look at the colors, or I needed to make sure the spelling was right. If you order a proof or you get a proof, please take the time to make sure that everything is exactly the way you think that it should be. And if it's not, ask questions. If you want your merch to be better, give yourself the time to pay attention to that detail so that you can get it exactly right for that perfect customer. And number 5, pay attention to the merch that actually moves you. I think that's one of the things that, because we get so tied to our budgets, to our timeline, all that sort of thing, is that, or we've done something for a long time, we just do it over and over again, that's fine. But when you are at conferences, when you're at events, when some of your vendors give you a gift, pay attention to the merch that actually moves you. The reality of it is, it's almost never the cheapest thing, right? It's something that is either really, really functional, or it's really, really cool. And then those are the kind of things that you get excited about. You get excited about receiving. But here's the thing that I don't know if we pay enough attention to. We get excited about the brand that gave it to us. So pay attention to the merch that moves you and start to move towards utilizing those sort of things. When you do that, and you do that with that end user in mind, you're not only going to create cool merch, but you're going to create a much more warm affection for your brand in the eyes of your best customers. So let me run through these again. Number 1, know who it's for. Not just your budget, your timeline, and all that sort of thing, but really pay attention to who you are creating merch for. It'll have more impact. Number 2, do something with a cool design. You can't, if you have a big brand, if you are Harley Davidson and you just throw your logo on it, totally works. But for the rest of us, if you can create a message around something people can stand behind, something they can be proud of wearing, they're more likely to rep your brand. So create a cool design. Number 3, give yourself time. So many times it's like as if we forgot that Christmas was coming, right? And again, it happens. But when you can plan those things out, you have so many more options. If you start to plan that merch campaign 3 months, 6 months out, all of a sudden budgets become friendlier, creativity becomes more ample because you just have more options on the table because you've given yourself time. Number 4, pay attention to detail. Get that sample if you have the time. Make sure you get a proof, but then pay attention to the proof so that you get exactly what you want. And then finally, just be on the lookout. Pay attention to the merch that moves you. Those are the things that will create great affinity for you, for the brands that you love, but it'll create great brand affinity for your brand, for the people that you're trying to reach as well. So those are 5 things I think you can do to do merch, branded merch, better. And that's our goal, is the relentless pursuit of better. We want to be just a little bit better than we were yesterday. Now, if this has provided you value, of course, please feel free to subscribe, share it to anybody who you think would get some value out of it. And again, that takeaway, if you go to hitthetargetbook.com, you can actually get my best-selling book, the ebook for free, the audiobook for free, and a video course as well. And you can get those. That's just my gift to you. I hope this has provided you some value, and we'll see you next time as we try to get better.